Hello, y'all. This is Eliza Magana with Real Broker. So, first of all, I want to thank you for joining me and being here today. And if you're here and you're watching this video, it means that you're ready to start your home buying journey. And this home buyer's guide is going to help you get there and understand the whole process. I'm all about being transparent and informing my public about what is going on and understand everything in the process. If you have any questions, please reach out and I'll be happy to answer them. So my home buyer's guide is 35 slides long. It is packed with information. So please have a pen and paper nearby so you can write notes, and also any questions that come and you would like for me to answer. If you get tired or you need a break, feel free to pause this video and start it over again. All right, let's get to it, y'all.
All right, y'all. So this is the home buyer's guide. As I mentioned earlier, it's meant to prepare you for the purchase of your next home sweet home. And in this guide, we're going to go over the 10 steps to your journey and also some mistakes to avoid, FAQs, and some definitions so you can understand the terminology. And this is the brokerage I'm under. I am under Real Broker. What I really like about them is that they're international as well. And if you need or you know a friend or relative that needs a realtor to assist them, we can communicate with other realtors in Rio and assist them. So this is me, and this is my story. So beyond real estate, I am a veteran, a future real estate investor, a wife, a mom of three, and a pet mom of two little bully pits and a cat. My approach is built on integrity, professionalism, and a commitment to delivering exceptional service. So if you choose me and you think we're a great fit, let's start finding your dream home together. And below is some of my contact information if you need it. And also a little bit about me is I am a dedicated real estate professional with a Royalty Realty team powered by Rio. I bring a wealth of knowledge and expertise to every transaction with a background in business, tax specialist, psychology, and I'm also a notary. With nearly 20 years of active military service, I understand the importance of strategic planning, attention to detail, and unwavering commitment, which are qualities that I apply to every real estate transaction. I'm currently transitioning from military service, and I'm deeply passionate about caring for my clients and ensuring their best interests are always at heart and first. My mission is to advocate fiercely on your behalf, empower you with knowledge, and make the home buying process seamless and stress free. Whether you're a first time homebuyer, relocating, or investing, I'm here to guide you with trust, transparency, and dedication. So, this is my team. This is the Royalty Realty team. Thomas Folden is the founder and the owner of our team. He's also a veteran. Mary Lou is an agent under the Royalty Realty team, as well as I am. This is a buyer's questionnaire. I will ask that you please fill this out whenever you have a time so I can get an idea of what your needs are and what you really are looking for. Um, so we're going to begin with the very first step now. And the very first step is finding your agent. So I highly recommend you interview agents. There's some that you might feel that you are unable to work with. There's some that you feel that you're totally comfortable with. And it's really up to you. The right agent for you will navigate the home buying process and prepare the paperwork from start to finish and explain it. Find the right home that you want at the right price and compare properties to make sure that you're not overpaying. We're also going to read over contracts and explain those to you and negotiate purchase price and contract terms. Also advocate on your side if you decide to go for a new build. Um, and also compare lenders to see which one gives you the best rate and which one works best for you. All lenders require different little things. It's something that I have learned throughout my years of doing real estate. I'm also going to ensure that you have contact information for real estate lawyers, appraisals, and inspectors, and also help you understand the closing cost. So, buying real estate is a complex matter with many factors to consider, as no two homes or transactions are the same. The opportunities and potential pitfalls are best navigated with an agent on your side. This is why hiring the right real estate agent is a crucial step at the home buying journey. As I mentioned earlier, a professional agent can guide you through the property search, financing, negotiation, and transaction process. The second step in the home buying process is evaluating your finances. Before starting your home search, it's important to evaluate your financial situation and prepare your finances that you so you can successfully get pre-approved from your lender. Create a budget as a general guideline. Total monthly housing costs from your home, including mortgage payment, taxes, maintenance fees, insurance, interest, and utilities, should be no more than 32% of your grossly monthly household income. Your total monthly debt should not exceed 40% of your gross monthly income. Plan to save and have some money for a down payment. If your down payment is less than 20% of the total purchase price of the home, you will need to purchase mortgage loan insurance that guarantees the debt against a default if it was to happen. This fee will be added to your mortgage loan payments. VA loans do not require a down payment, but you will need money for escrow, option fee, inspection, and appraisal, which are separate. Get a credit report. Your credit report determines if you'll get pre-approved for a loan and it depends on your credit report and what's in it, your interest rates and your loan terms. So it's good to start seeing where you currently stand and how you may seem to potential lenders. And checking your credit score is also important. If you have high debt, lowering that debt, disputing any errors on your credit report in Experian, and don't purchase anything big. Hold off on applying for any other loans, cards, vehicles. While you're in the home buying process, it is highly recommended you do not apply for these things because it can increase your DTI and you won't be able to qualify financial. And it would be terrible if you did all this work and you got to the point where you're about to close on your home and then you cannot close because you applied for a loan for a car or credit card, and it's very unfortunate, but it happens very often. So please do not get anything on credit. um, Step three in the home buying process is getting pre-approved. Most buyers get pre-approved before they begin their home search. Their pre-approval process typically involves meeting with a lender and authorizing them to examine their current financial situation and credit history. When you get pre-approved for a loan, it means that you've actually been approved by a lender to borrow a specific amount of money to purchase your home. The benefits of getting pre-approval include understanding what you can afford and showing home sellers that you're serious about a potential offer. In a competitive market, sellers may ask for proof of pre-approval. This document can help strengthen your offer. Make sure you get the approval letter before we start viewing homes. This is very important because in the state of Texas, here in El Paso, if you're ready to buy your home and you see it and you love it and you don't have that pre-approval by the lender, it can, and while you wait for that, it can potentially be out of the market by the time you want to put an offer in. So part of the offer is having this pre-approval letter, and then I do the documentation, and we talk about the offer that we will submit. This right here explains the mortgage and loan process and funding for your home. You start with the application and interview. Then it goes to underwriting for approval, and then loan approval. Loan documents are completed and sent to title, and title company, the title and funding. Funding is the lender will review the loan package and funds will be transferred. Once you're closed and funded, it means that you're completely done and then you're able to receive your home keys. Step number four in the home buying process is starting the home search. When you know exactly what you want, what your must haves and like to haves are, you are more likely to succeed in finding your dream home. A good idea is to figure out exactly what you're looking for. It is to go to online real estate websites to view virtual tours of the home, see the details, and access neighborhood information. This is a great way to learn what homes are available in a given area the price range, and features before you actually start your home search in person. The typical home search process goes like this: automatic property updates. As soon as a property that meets your dream criteria is posted on the MLS, you will be sent an email direct to you with that listing. Um, and property tours. We will schedule walkthroughs of the properties that match your preference and your needs. The step number 5 in the home buying process is to make an offer. Um, Once you have found the property you want, we will write a purchase agreement. The offer details include the price you are offering to pay, inclusions, items in the home that you think are included in the sale, deposit amount, and you'll take possession of the home, when you'll take possession of the home, legal conditions, and the date the offer expires. Note that if your offer is a note that your offer is a legally binding document and should be prepared by a real estate professional. There are a few areas in the purchase agreement that can be negotiated. Um, the price you offer depends on several factors, such as home condition, time on the market, current market trends, etc. We'll help you make a competitive initial price offer as well as uh, what your target price would be for this specific home based on the price of recent homes sold in the area, local market information, and whether other there are other competitive offers. Time frame. Ensure that any time frames indicated in the contract are realistic, especially if you still need to get pre-approved for a mortgage loan. Step 6 in the home buying process is to negotiate successfully. Preparation. After submitting an offer, you should be prepared to negotiate on various factors such as initial price, deposits, inclusions, dates for completion, and possession of the home, etc. Note what your budget is before submitting your offer so you don't commit to additional costs in the heat of the process because this can be very emotional. Multiple offers. In a high demand, low inventory area, you may find yourself bidding against other buyers. This means that you need to ensure that the offer you submit is strategic, competitive, and reflective of what you're ultimately willing to pay for the property. A tip is to get a pre-approval, as I mentioned earlier, for your mortgage prior to your home search. That way you can secure your house if this is really what you love and you don't miss out on it. Sellers are most likely, they will reject here in El Paso um, offers without a pre-approval. Continuing on to step 6, negotiating. Potential responses. Your offer will be either accepted as is, the deal is complete, and once it's signed by the seller, the offer becomes a legally binding contract. This is like best case, like your offer got accepted as is. A counter offer, if you hear me say that, it means that the seller made some changes to your offer. You may accept the counter offer and close the deal by signing the document, or you may make another counter offer back to the seller. Rejection, that means the seller chose to completely reject the offer and the sale will not go through. Offer acceptance. Once both parties have come to an agreement, both parties will have a set period of time to complete the legal condition agreed to in the contract, such as completing a home inspection or securing financing. Um, Whew, doesn't it seem like you learned a lot so far? Well, you have. And I can guarantee you that the final steps and the light is near. You can start seeing the line peep through at this point. The final steps in the process will revolve largely around home inspections, closing costs, and the final move out to get you into your new home. There's certain timeframes we have to be on sync as far as inspection. So if there's something you find wrong with the home or something you want to counter on price because there's repairs that need to be done, for example, uh, we have a certain amount of period to get back to the seller and negotiate that. So the home inspection is a crucial step, but don't worry because we're going to make sure that everything is on track. So, step number 8 in the home buying process is the appraisal and title search. This is done by the title company. You don't have to worry about this unless there's an issue with the property or the title. I will be notifying you. But the title is your right to own, possess, and use the property. When you buy a home, you are purchasing the seller's title to the home. Before obtaining the title, you have to contact a real estate lawyer to complete a title search. This will confirm if the seller has a legal right to sell the property in question and if there are any other hindrances or liens that may prevent the buyer from taking full possession. An appraisal is an estimate of the property value. This is required by the lender to ensure that the value of the property meets the value of the loan. The appraisal is not only to justify the lender's investment, but to help keep the buyer from overpaying a property. Your lender will typically hire an appraisal and charge you for the fee at closing. The appraisal is super important, especially for a VA. If you are using a VA loan, you will not be able to, you are only going to be able to get finance for the appraisal. If your home does not appraise, then we're going to have to negotiate that with the seller. But don't worry, I got you. Once these steps are completed, your lender will issue a final commitment letter, which officially approves your home loan. This letter covers all loan terms and agreements for the mortgage they are granting you. Your final letter will also include your annual percentage rate, monthly fees, and repayment info for the loan. Final stage is almost there. We're almost there, y'all. So, closing and moving. Details regarding home closing costs will be explained and fully understood as we walk through the completion of the purchase and the transfer of title to your name. So, step 9 is scheduling your move. Congratulations, you're about to make the move into your new home. As closing day slowly approaches, it is a good idea to get organized well in advance of the closing date to reduce stress from moving. We've compiled this checklist to help you ensure that the moving process will go smoothly. So, 2 to 3 weeks before you move, it's recommended that you buy boxes and other moving supplies, make any necessary travel arrangements or reservations, notify your children's old school and register at their new school if applicable, contact the local post office to forward your mail to your new address, donate or give away unwanted items, transfer your insurance so you will be covered at your new home. Make a list of everything that needs to be moved. Get copies of all medical, dental, and vet records if applicable. 1 to 2 weeks before you move, complete necessary repairs. Uh, Pack each room and label all boxes of what's in them. Notify utility companies with the moving date to stop services and get final meter readings. Confirm moving travel arrangements and pack a small bag with clothes and personal items needed for the next few days. Moving day. Dispose of all trash and finish cleaning. Double check that all cabinets, closets, and dishwashers are empty. Give movers any special instructions that may be needed. Pack your linens, toiletries, kitchen, etc. The essentials. Keep your paperwork where you can find it. And do a final walkthrough of every room to ensure no items were left behind. And then step 10, finally, we are here, closing and done. As closing day starts to approach, you should be in close contact with your agent and lender as they will monitor the process of your transaction to ensure that there are no last minute issues. Closing day is when the purchase of your home is finalized. You, your agent, and your seller party will meet with the escrow officer who will review the contract of sale to determine what fees are owed by whom or if there's any refunds and prepare your final closing documents. The main purpose of closing is to ensure that all fees are paid, the seller receives their money owed, and that the buyer's title is recorded. Remember to bring a valid government issued ID, a check for any amount that might be due, such as an appraisal fee, if any fees, any outstanding documents for the title company or loan officer. And I want to remind you that when you close, keys will be issued once it is funded. not just when you close and you sign for it, but once it's funded, and it can be the same day or it can be the next business day, depending on time and date of closing. I don't like to do closings on a Friday evening because that means that you're not going to get your home till Monday. So I rather have a closing between Monday through Wednesday. That way you get the home either, depending on the time. If it's in the morning, you might be able to get the keys that afternoon once it's funded. And if you close in the evening or afternoon, you might be able to get your keys the next morning. Um, what are closing costs and what to look for? So, closing costs is the mortgage application and underwriting fees, title search and insurance, appraisal fees, transfer taxes, homeowners insurance, escrow fees, notary and recording fees, homeowner association or condo fees if applicable. So, in a nutshell, this is the home buying summary and what it looks like from beginning to end. Just to recap real quick, because I know I gave y'all a lot of information. First, it starts with an interview to look around and find your perfect real estate agent for you. The second is to prepare your finances, save for a down payment, and improve your credit score if needed. The third is to get pre approval, meet with a lender to get pre approved for a mortgage. The fourth would be once we know what you are comfortable with and what you qualify for, we will start a home search and we'll discuss what your perfect house looks like and we will begin the search. And this is like the most fun part for me. I love this part. After finding the right home, we'll put in a strong offer. We will prepare to negotiate and counter offers if needed. I will schedule the inspections and negotiate any requests and issues that come up. Appraisal and title search. Order the appraisal and title search will be done. Usually, this is by the lender. And step 9 is pack, prepare for moving and schedule your moving. And 10 is closing, which means you close, you sign your documents, and you get the keys once funded. Um, as I mentioned earlier, I also wanted to point out some home buyers' mistakes. Here are common mistakes buyers make when purchasing their home, which is emptying savings. Buyers will often forget that there are many costs involved in purchasing a home. There's down payment, closing costs, property taxes, home warranties, legal fees, insurance, unexpected home repairs. Some buyers will go broke because they forget to take that into account of all their costs. And to avoid this mistake, just have enough money saved for a down payment for any of these expenses that might come up. Um, and to get a better idea of how much the costs are, we can ask a lender for estimates. A good idea is also to hold off on any shopping for new furniture, home decor until you are settled and you have a clear budget of how much you can spend. Remember, don't go out and start getting stuff on credit, especially once you're going through this home buying journey. Um, Choosing the wrong lender. Each lender, as I mentioned earlier, offers different interest rates and fees. Since most borrowers don't shop around for lenders, they just go with the first person they see and approve them. They end up choosing sometimes the wrong lender for them. To avoid the mistake, shop around for lenders. You have a 90-day grace period where if you're shopping for lenders, you you're good for 90 days. And that's what their rates and terms are. By having various options, you get to choose. You get to see what the best rates are for you and save money on that interest and get better terms for you. Another mistake is getting too emotional. When you start looking at homes, you're likely to get attached to some of the homes you view. You might really, really want to purchase a certain property, but the price might not be in your budget, or you might not qualify for that price of the home with your current budget. And at times like this, it's important to take a step back, think rationally, and ask yourself questions like, can I afford this place? What would I have to give up to afford it? Um, and another one is going house hunting before getting pre approved. Many home buyers will go home hunting before getting pre approval for a mortgage. Well, it's much more fun to go house hunting than talk about your finances. You wouldn't actually know what properties you can afford until you get pre-approval. Even if you find your dream home, then you're highly unable to afford it because you're looking in the wrong price range. And to avoid these emotional mistakes, um, get the pre-approval with a good, reputable lender before you start um, to seriously look for homes and get emotionally involved. How to avoid home buying mistakes? Well, we are going to get a home inspection to find out what major defects the property may have. In the meantime, pay close attention to the foundation and structure of the home and the roofing when viewing properties. See if there's any cracking in the walls, plaster that indicates subsidence, or when water gets in the property over a long period of time, there will be major structural damage to the home. Look for signs of water damage, such as damp patches, discoloration. Sometimes you see discoloration on the sheetrock or on the roof, rotten skirt boards, peeling wallpaper, or smell of mold. Um, uh, get a home warranty, no matter how new the home is. A home warranty typically covers mechanical, electrical system issues, air conditioning, furnace, water heater, ductwork, plumbing, or appliances. No property is worth if you having if you have horrible neighbors. So check out the neighborhood at night and see what people on the street are doing. Or are they throwing parties, or are the lights out early? Like, you want to kind of turn into a detective of what your future home could potentially be like. Um, so that's what I did with my home as well. I came and I scouted the area in the daytime and in the evening and at nighttime. And in my area, it was really quiet, so I was very excited for that. Almost all types of home improvements require building permits. Permits prove that the work was done by a legitimate contractor in compliance with local building codes. Properties with clear signs of improvement but has no permit are red flags. There's a risk that the work is substandard and will end up costing you money to fix it or bring it up to bring it up to code. So I'll be able to provide these websites for you to do your due diligence and ensure that this is something that you're okay locating to. And now the most boring part is documentation. So before we begin, I am going to require for you to sign a buyer's representation agreement. This is a legally binding contract that establishes the relationship between the buyer and the real estate agent, outlining the agent's duties, buyer obligations, and the length of the agreement to ensure the agent represents the buyer's best interest. This we get to determine. Usually for buyers, I do it for 3 to 6 months, um, but also be notified and be aware of that this is a legal binding contract. And once you sign with a realtor, unless it has expired or you have terminated an agreement for whatever reason, then you can work with another realtor. These things can get pretty ugly. You're also going to receive information about brokerage services. This is required that I provide you to its disclosure about the roles of the brokers and agents in real estate transactions. It helps buyers understand the difference between seller representation and buyer representation and intermediary services. It also lets you know who my boss is and how you can report me if I'm being unethical to you. And if you're financing, uh, we're also going to do a third party financing addendum. This is part of the offer, not part of us going and checking out homes yet. The buyer's Trek Form 4010 party financing addendum is the buyer is financing their home purchase. This form outlines financing terms, loan approval deadlines, and contingencies that protect the buyer if they cannot obtain financing. And if you're putting a cash offer, you will need proof of funds. But a pre-approval letter is needed if you're going to be doing financing, and it is necessary to submit the offer. And if needed, residential buyer's temporary release. If the buyer needs to move in before closing date, this lease agreement allows the buyer to temporarily reside in the home before officially owning it. This is something uncommon, but it does happen in certain situations. And notice to prospective buyer advises the buyer to the right to obtain title policy or have an abstract title examined to ensure that there are no title issues with the property. Property inspection report, it's optional but highly recommended. Professional home inspection report detailing any issues with the home structure, system, safety, helping the buyer make an informed decision before proceeding. You don't want to end up getting into a home and then find out that it had issues when this step right here would have taken care of it. So highly, highly, highly encourage a home inspection even on new builds. A seller's disclosure notice is a document completed by the seller detailing known defects, repairs, and history of the home and ensuring transparency in the transaction. So the seller's disclosure notice is something that the seller has to provide you. They have a certain time frame to provide this to you. If there's known issues with the home, they have to put it on there. And if you have any HOAs or a POA addendum, um, this is also a form you're going to receive. And from my broker, from Real Broker, I am required to send you documentation such as the buyer's commission disclosure, wire fraud info, and affiliated business arrangements (ABA). This informs the buyer about commission structure and how compensation is handled in the transaction. This disclosure ensures transparency regarding commission agreements, warns buyers about the risk of wire fraud in real estate transaction, and provides guidance on how to verify payment instructions to avoid scams. Required if the brokerage has the ABA is required if the brokerage has business relationship and service with service providers such as Real Mortgage, Real Title, ensuring buyers are well aware of any financial interests for the company. And these are some of my testimonials. Highly recommend, was extremely available and always kept me up to date on the process. We were able to sell our home before I got to my next duty station. Elizabeth Magana is a true professional. Thank you. And this was posted by one of my homes I sold. I was able to sell his home before he even PCS and got into the new housing. I've listed it on the market and I have a strategic and aggressive marketing. So I was able to sell it within 3 days. I didn't even have the for sale sign out yet. So they were very, very happy. Eliza is a very caring, honest realtor. I didn't know where to begin with my first home purchase. She talked me through the whole process and got me to talk to a lender, and I know exactly what I need to do to become a homeowner. She's my go-to realtor, and I will use her again for my home purchase. I recommend for anyone looking to buy a property with a genuine and real person, Jamie Janelle. This was a Google review, and also Eliza is a dedicated and devoted in selling and purchasing your forever home. She also works with veterans and military families. Great realtor and someone you can trust by Lizzie Miller. And these are some of the frequently asked questions. These are questions to ask if you want to ask me. What if I'm not ready to buy? Just give me a call so we can understand where you are in the process of the home buying journey. If it's better to engage with a realtor, it is always better to engage with a realtor in advance, as it provides us with enough time to get you ready. What if you need a loan? Well, we are here to assist in the home loan process, all the way from initial pre-approval to letter to the final home loan approvals. How long does this process take? It is difficult to tell. Every situation is different, but typically it takes anywhere, um, it could take up to 12 weeks. So once you submit an offer and you've committed to a home and you're ready for a home, the funding and the financing part takes 4 to 6 weeks. So again, it all depends. What are your costs? Our fees are generally charged as a percentage of your property purchase, valued at 3%. We can discuss the details of the cost through a one-on-one consultation. Please let me know and feel free to book a time slot with me to commence your home buying process. And this is a home touring checklist. I will have these printed out for you. So whenever you do check an address out or go see a home, if you want to make notes about it, you can make your little notes here. And because after 3, 4 homes, they all kind of blend in together and you don't even know what address is what home. So is to help you stay on track. And then this is some terminology to help you understand the real estate lingo. Pre-approval is the first step in obtaining a mortgage to purchase your home. The banker will perform an analysis on your income, debt, and credit worthiness. You will need one in order to be ready to put your offer on a house. Title search will confirm that the property that is being sold in fact belongs to the seller. The offer is a preliminary agreement to purchase a home and is set between the buyer and the seller. An appraisal is the value that is assigned by to the real estate asset based on the assessment of asset, neighborhood, market condition, and more. A contingency is related to a property. It's is when the preliminary offer is accepted, pending certain conditions set out by the seller. Home inspection is an official review of a real estate asset's current condition. They will help determine if there is any work needed to be done to the property to bring it to normal working order. Um, Closing costs is the amount that is paid in addition to the sale of the price. This can include taxes, insurance, or lender expenses. Good faith money, also known as your earnest money, is a balance of funds that are set aside into a trust or escrow account to show the buyer that you're serious about the purchase. And this money, it's usually 1%. If you're serious about this home, 1% of the house, it pretty much means like, okay, I'm gonna put this money down for, like, for example, $2,500 in good faith money that I really want this home. If I default for any fault of my own, I will not get that money back. However, if something is wrong with the inspection and I want to back out of the contract, I want my money back, you're going to have what's called option money. This option money is something very small, like 200, like 100 to $200, and you pay this money to receive your escrow money back. Um, I know this was a lot of information. I threw a lot at you here because it's a lot of information. But my job is to make sure that you understand the process, that you are empowered and educated. So no one in the real estate industry can take advantage of you. If you have any questions, please write them down on this pad or on a piece of paper so you can ask me, and I'll be so glad to answer your questions. Thank you again for watching this in presentation. You got this.